Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is a wonderful Wednesday, and I am super excited about today, y'all. I keep losing my tea bag off in my cup. Look at the operator error this morning, and I really want this tea this morning. I need this tea this morning. Amen. It's a dreary day here in Texas, and I need this tea. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you guys coming in the room on this morning. Thank you so much for coming in the room. My apologies for my extreme tardiness. I should have been on here about 8 minutes ago. Um, so you guys come on in the room. I wait just a few moments. I see more and more of you are coming in the room, and I appreciate you on today. Thank you so much for coming in the space on this morning. Those of you that are joining us across the various social media platforms, a great day to you. Big shout out to Fancy Felder and her team at Swag Her Magazine. Thank you so much for this opportunity to join your community each and every Monday and Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And especially big shout out to the Laquita's Toolbox community. You guys are blessed, and thank you so much for your continued support of all things Laquita's Toolbox, our live opportunities, as well as our podcast. Thank you for joining us across the Facebook and LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Those of you that are in the Laquita's Toolbox community, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, Miss Phil. Yeah, I can't talk this morning, Miss Fancy Felder. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. We appreciate you for popping in the space. We had a great conversation on Monday. Really love the engagement on Monday. We were talking about networking because networking is marketing for small businesses. Networking is marketing for big businesses. And this is whether you are a solopreneur or you have a team with you. Networking is a vital tool that we need to be implementing into our marketing strategies. And I will say this, especially when your marketing budget is minimal. You want to make sure that you're networking. You are networking. You have to network. And today in the conversation, what I hope to pull out are a couple of different ways of doing just that. Like, how can we begin to network more efficiently? I know some of you that came in on Monday. One of your questions was, or comments was, okay, you understand the power of networking, but not necessarily how to do it, and that it's a problem area for you. And, that is a great place to be in, because if you at least can be honest about, okay, I know networking is great. I know I need to do it, but I don't quite know how, or I've tried and I've had some difficulty. And, I don't like being in public, just whatever your hindrance is. If that's your hindrance, that's fine. But hopefully, prayerfully, through these next couple of live sessions, we'll be able to give you some tips, tools, and strategies to help you be able to press past those hindrances and begin to network more effectively. Good morning, Miss Claire Fontaine. Thank you for joining us from Louisiana. As those of you that are coming into the room on this morning, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe. We want to make sure we get this broadcast out to as many people as possible. And as well, when you come into the room on this morning, let me know who you are and where you are from. I want to make sure that I acknowledge each and every one of you on today, those that are coming into the space. And so this morning, I want to talk about, okay, what can we do to begin to plan for networking? Because the best networking begins with planning. How can we begin to plan to network? And we dipped our toe in that a little bit on Monday. We talked about picking our preferred social media platform on Monday. We talked about picking our preferred social media platform and giving it 100% of us, and finding the right groups on that social media platform, finding the right posting strategy on that platform, and making sure that we're engaging with the people who follow us on our preferred social media platform. Well, today I want to talk about that, but I want to talk about it from an in-person point of view. We started to get into that a little bit on Monday, but we didn't have quite enough time to dive all the way into it. So today, that's what we want to focus on. How can we improve our networking in person? So You may be saying, okay, Laquita, where do you go to network? How do you find out about networking opportunities? Every city, or every city should, let me say this, have a chamber of commerce. Every city should have an active chamber of commerce. And if you're in bigger cities or closer to bigger metropolitan areas, you'll not only have the chamber of commerce that's sponsored by that city, but you'll also have chamber of commerce like your Black chamber of commerce, your Asian American chamber of commerce. You'll have different types of chamber of commerces that are specified to your particular ethnic group if you want to expand even more. So like here in the city of Killeen, we do have our Chamber of Commerce in Killeen. There's one in Harker Heights, one in Belton, um, one in Carpus Cove. They're all in our surrounding areas. And so it will behoove you to become an active member in your Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Cheryl. Thank you so much for popping in the space. And why do I say that? Because those are the beginnings of networking. Your city probably has a lot of things going on that will help you in terms of getting into the right spaces and connecting with the right people to help you build and grow personally and professionally as a business owner. So you don't want to decredit or devalue overlook being a part of your local chamber of commerce meeting. Attend those meetings. Make that a special note to attend those meetings. And when you're attending those meetings, you can also find out in those meetings what are the other local meetups that are happening with business owners in their specific area of expertise. So in that chamber of commerce, let's say, again, we'll use the photographer as an example. You may have some great group of photographers in your city that you did not even know were there, but you met them at the Chamber of Commerce and they're saying, hey, you know what? We have this group of this photography group and we meet up twice a month. You want to come and join our group? Great. Networking. In order for you to be better at anything, you've got to actively practice doing it. And so you have to be able to show up in the spaces where those things are happening. So we don't want to devalue or discredit the power of our local chamber of commerce. You also want to look at, you may be saying, okay, Laquita, that's great. I'm doing that, but I want to do some things that are more focused and more centered on what I like. I want to bring in more people. So my question is, have you considered creating your own space? Have you considered creating your own space? And you may be saying, well, Laquita, that costs a little money. Well, let me backtrack back to the local Chamber of Commerce. I can say this as a Chamber of Commerce member here in the city of Killeen. Because I am a Chamber of Commerce member, there are certain spaces in the city of Killeen that I have either free access to or very low cost access to where I can host an event. But you wouldn't know that if you're not a part of your local chamber of commerce. And this is not a plug. I'm not being paid by anybody's chamber of commerce for saying that. This is just simply facts. These are things that we need to know as business owners. What are the tools and the resources available to us in our city that are either free or low cost that will give us access to other business owners so that we can develop more and greater networking skills and more collaborative opportunities. Also, if you have not been in contact with your local small business administration and got connected with a SCORE mentor. And these two particular those SCORE mentors in that small business administration, again, they have opportunities, they have courses that they give that are either free or low cost. And when you're in those classes, make an active effort to network. So when you're in a Zoom session, I'm in a free Zoom workshop, I'm in a free Zoom mastermind, right? Or even if it's a paid one. If it's a Zoom and not in a webinar form, this is a tool that was given to me by as a matter of fact, America's Supermom, Miss Lachelle Atkins. It's a tool that she uses to enhance her networking. When she's in those meetings, you know how you could go into the chat on Zoom and you can pick a person and privately chat with them. So she picks someone and she privately chats with them and she makes an introduction. We can't network if people don't know we exist. Amen. So make an active effort to begin to network when you're going, and this is whether you're in someone's space that they created, amen, or if it's in a space that you created. If you're hosting, for your first time or your second time or your 10th time an event and in an event space completely dedicated to networking, that can become a powerful tool not only for your business growth and development, but for the business growth and development of those that you chose to partner with. Back in December, I went to a networking event in Dallas. I A friend of mine, we left Killeen, we went to Dallas, met some amazing people. We learned some great things because here's the thing: when you're creating these networking opportunities, you're creating these spaces live and in person. You are not the only one that's doing all the teaching. You can actually, as you're sending out those invites, people that you know, people that you respect, people that you admire, you can invite them in and say, hey, come to my networking event. I can give you 10, 15 minutes to talk about your area of expertise. Guaranteed, most of them will show up and they will probably bring someone with them. So, where you thought your event may have been one or two people, now you have an event of 10, 15, or 20 people, and you have all of these subject matter experts sharing, and sharing some more, learning, and learning some more. You have all of these individuals in this space that are sharing and learning and creating collaborative opportunities. Why? Because everyone wants their business to grow. And in order for my business to grow, it's in my best interest to help your business grow. This is creating collaborative opportunities. This is where two brands can come together and say, hey, if we partner on something, not only will it elevate my brand, but it will elevate your brand, and we can both reach our greatest potential. Good morning, Kenneth. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Nigeria. We appreciate you on this morning. Thank you so much, Lasago, for popping in the space. Good afternoon. Peace and blessings to you as well. Thank you so much for coming in the room. Today, we are talking about, again, we're just giving a little bit more information on the power of networking and understanding that the best networking can happen with proper planning. So we've talked on Monday about the importance of choosing your proper social media network platform so that you could begin to give it 100% of you, so that you can build your engagement. You can build not just your the likes and of your posts, but you can actually begin to build and develop relationships with individuals there in your social space. And today we're talking about the importance of networking in person and what are some of the things that we can begin to do to improve upon or to expand even our in-person networking. Another thing that you can do is working with community service groups like your local Lions clubs. Um, those of us that are speakers and coaches, in order for us to get better at our craft, we've got to be able to speak and to coach. And you can find opportunities sometimes in these local groups like the Lions Club. It may be an unpaid opportunity. Let me just say this: it may be an unpaid opportunity to speak, but you are getting to speak and to demonstrate the proficiency of your craft in front of business leaders in your city. What better way to make your announcement to your city that you exist, your business is here, and how your business can help improve their business than by having an opportunity to speak or to deliver a presentation to a group of business leaders? How can you do that, you say? Getting in front of your local Lions Club, getting again in front of your local Chamber of Commerce, being a part of those two groups and utilizing the opportunities given to you. Another way is volunteering at local nonprofit organizations. Again, the local nonprofit organizations are always in need of training. They're always in need of products and services. And what better way, again, to get in front of local business leaders than to be able to join these groups and demonstrate your proficiency in your craft and build relationships with the leaders of these local nonprofit organizations such as your local Lions Club. And again, putting emphasis on being an active part of your local Chamber of Commerce. These are all free or low cost ways in order for you to build and be very intentional and planning how to be more effective in your networking. And we also talked about hosting your own networking event. I love that one. Hosting your own networking event. And it doesn't have to be anything that's super expensive. It does not have to be something that's super expensive. You can host your own networking event either online, virtually, or in person. And you can do that low cost to no cost, right? Well, how can you do that? By being, when you're actively participating in your local chamber of commerce. I can't speak for all chamber of commerce, but there's one surefire way to find out if your chamber of commerce does. That's to reach out to them and ask them. And in my city, being a part of my local chamber of commerce, one of the benefits that I get is access to free and low cost spaces to host events. And if you're saying free is my way to go, then connect with your local chamber of commerce. See if they provide that service. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. Put this bug in their ear and they might say, hey, that's something to consider as a benefit to our local chamber of commerce members. You don't want to overlook anything. The planning is necessary. Plan how you're going to network. Plan what organizations you're going to reach out to. Plan what spaces you want to be in. And when you're doing the planning, make sure that you execute. Make sure that you execute consistently. Make sure that you execute with excellence. And you will see that these opportunities, getting in these spaces and networking, the fruit that it will produce will begin to be more, like we talked about it on Monday, the return on your investment will either be an increase in clients, an increase in visibility in your area, as well as collaborative opportunities. These are three great return on your investments. I can't guarantee you how they'll come, but these are three that will come. Perhaps maybe the visibility will come first. Perhaps the collaborative opportunities will come first. Who knows? Maybe it will give you an automatic increase in clientele, but I tell you what, the one thing is for certain. If your visibility increases and your ability to make to participate in collaborative opportunities increase, that increase in clientele is guaranteed to happen. And those things are only going to happen with the power of networking. Planning gets the job done. Amen. Planning gets the job done. The best networking begins with planning. So, are you planning? What are you planning? If you're not planning, today is the best day to get started. Pull out that something to write with and something to write on and begin to flesh out those ideas and look at ways that you could begin to network. Listen, I've got these great tips and so many more in my email series that I've put together on building networking opportunities. Miss Fancy says, it's like each time I hop on when you're live, you're always speaking about the thing I'm talking about or considering. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, right here in the Swag Her Magazine group, guys. Networking. Miss Fancy, if you could for a minute, just pop in the chat. How effective is networking? How necessary is networking for building your business? If you could pop in the comment section and answer that. How important is networking and how effective is it at building your business? We can't be in business without it. We cannot be in business without networking. I don't care what level of business you're in, whether you just started yesterday or you've been in business 10 years. Those of us that are business owners, and if you are popping in here live right now or watching the replay, go ahead and jump in the comments and share how networking has been a blessing to your business. Fancy says it's mandatory. It is very vital. Absolutely. Absolutely. I could not agree more. Lasago says, thank you so much for a wonderful opportunity. I need to venture into networking. Yes, you have to network. You absolutely have to network. Cheryl says it's something that she needs to get better at. I would say this, Cheryl, we all need to get better at networking, right? It is one of those tools that you'll always sharpen as a business owner. You all, and even on Monday, I said that this too. Networking is not just something that we sharpen as business owners, but those of us that are career oriented, we have to sharpen our tools. When I was in government contracting, or even when I was working for the government in a federal government position, I still had to network. Amen. I had to network, and if I wanted upward mobility in my career, I had to network. I don't care what you do and how you're doing it. Networking, you won't get away from it. You will not get away from networking. Thank you so much, Ms. Cheryl, for adding value to the conversation. Thank you, Fancy, so much as always for adding value to the conversation. Lisago says, currently, one cannot afford to grow any business outside of network. Absolutely. This is a great tool and a must have, and we must commit to it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Networking is one of the most used tools in your toolbox. It should be one of the most used tools in your toolbox. It should be one that you're sharpening consistently and continuously improving at our ability to network. I have a email series. I'm going to see if I can pop that in the chat real quick. On building your network. If you are not registered to receive that email series, I highly encourage you to get registered for my email series called Building Your Network. You will get these great tips that we've discussed today and more coming right to your inbox. And they're easily implementable tools that you can begin to use to improve your networking and to get ideas on new networking strategies. You may be saying, Laquita, I network, but I need a couple of more, strategies in my toolbox. I've got something for you that you will not be disappointed in. Here's the link right here on the screen. I've also put the link in the comments. Get registered for this email series that I'm currently doing right now. And it's all about how to build your network and improving your networking skills. You don't want to miss out on this email series. It was be really, really, really beneficial to have in your toolbox to go back and to reach into that, grab those nuggets, creating your own networking opportunities, whether it's virtual or in person, how to go out and find those networking opportunities in our community, in places like our local Lions Club, our local Chamber of Commerce, and our local nonprofit organizations, on how to improve. I don't care whether you're selling widgets or whether you're giving a TED Talk. It doesn't matter. These organizations are always in need of the skills that you possess and the products that you provide. We just have to be able to get into the space in front of these business leaders and dare I say city leaders as well, so that they can know, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. And I am great at it. And I would love to be able to do it with you and for you. They won't know if you're not in front of them. And those today, the tips that we share today are just like the tip of the iceberg of some things that you can do locally in your city, in your area, to help to improve your visibility, create collaborative opportunities that will in turn equate to increased clientele. Listen, guys, it has been a fabulous time today speaking with you all. I always have fun when I get on these lives every Monday and every Wednesday right here in the Swag Her Magazine community, as well as in the Laquita's Toolbox community. I will be back on Monday with some more tips, some more tools and strategies, because that's the goal of these lives, to leave you with at least 3 tips, 3 tools that you can use and to begin to easily implement for improvement in your personal development as well as your professional development. Until next time, I'm Laquita Monley. You guys be blessed and have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. God bless.